will explain you about Python, and we will start our Python programming language. Now I will explain you first what is Python, what is compiler, interpreter, and all these things, and after that we will start our lab work. This is our course outcome and topic learning outcomes. How Python will be explained in features. So we can explain in features of Python and data types, operators, input and output controllers, control systems, distinguish between C and Python comparison. I will explain you, and what is the terminologies, classify, class, key issues and features of Python. We will explain up to this topic of our course outcome and topic learning outcomes. In our outcome achieved, that operators we can explain, and what is the object oriented Python languages, programming languages, what is objects, strings, functions, expectations, what is GUI and developed web based real world applications, all these things used in Python programming language. What is our module 1 in our Python in our programming language? What is programming language? And there are 3 types of programming languages are available. They are machine level language and assembly level language and high level language. Machine level means low level languages, low level which we cannot understand. And assembly level languages, it is more than machine level language and less than high level language. High level languages we can write in our programming languages. These all are high level languages. Now I will go through machine level language. Machine level languages is nothing but the set of instructions given to the computer. Machine level language is a set of instructions given to the computer in the form of zeros and ones. In our machine level language, machine can understand only zeros and ones. This is the first generation languages. What is the advantages of this? The program can execute very fastly. Program can execute very fastly. What is the disadvantage? Difficult to remember in our machine level languages. Means if I will take machine level language is nothing but the set of instructions given in the computer in form of zeros and ones. Means all computers can understand only zeros and ones. This is the first generation language. And what is the advantages are the program execution is very fast. The program execution is very fast. What is disadvantages? The difficult to remember the machine instructions. It is very difficult to remember the machine instructions. What is the instructions will be there? It will be very difficult to remember for a human being, and it is very difficult to debug. Means our manually we cannot debug properly and correct modify everything. It will be difficult for a human being. Only machine can understand the language. Machine language is very difficult to understand by a human being, so that it is a low level language, and we cannot try, we can write tell that was a machine level language. Only machine can understand easily, but human cannot understand easily. But the execution is very fast. The advantages of the machine level language is the execution of the program is very fast. What is the disadvantages of the programming? This machine level language, it is very difficult to remember the machine level instructions, and it is very difficult to debug, correct and modify. And machine level language is very difficult to understand the human beings. With normal human beings, we cannot understand what is this. If I will tell 0011111, what is the meaning of this? You people can tell it easily? No, that machine can tell all these things easily. Machine level language is hardware dependent. It is totally hardware dependent, and modification, error fixing cannot be done in machine level language. Once you written in all the things machine level languages, you cannot be changed. It will be fixed. It will be fixed. So machine level language is a hardware dependent, and modifications and error fixing cannot be done in machine level languages. So now assembly level languages. What is assembly level languages? Assembly level generally middle level languages. Middle level languages means it can understand the zeros and ones from the machine, and it can be replaced by the mnemonic code, means abbreviations. So what is the language referred in the second generation language in the low level languages? Here easy to memorize the assembly level language because some alphabets and mnemonics are used. Means add means add we are writing. See here example, add means add r1 means these are the registers, two registers we can add, and add r1 r2. And here execution is slow as compared to machine level language. This assembly level language is execution is very slow as compared to machine level language. Modification and error fixing can be done in assembly level language. Modifications and error fixing can be done in assembly level language. Assembly level language is only understood by human being, not for computers. Assembly level language only understood by human beings. What is the difference between machine level and assembly level language? Machine level language is only used in zeros and ones, but assembly level language, this will be used by human being. So this language is a second generation language, also a low level language. And here this is this easy to memorize for the assembly level language because some alphabets and mnemonics are used. Execution is very slow. Here the in assembly level language the execution is very slow as compared to machine level language. Modifications and error fixing can be done by assembly level language. Assembly level languages can be used, can only understand by the human beings, not for computers. If I will write add r1 r2 means add register 1 register 2, we can add multiply, we can multiply. Mul means multiply, we can understand this. Mul means multiply, add means add, load means store, we can add, multiply and store means this is understandable little bit. If I will tell you 0 1 1 1 1 5 5 5 5 5 5 5 0 1 1 1 1 and 0 0 0 0, what is the meaning of this language? You cannot understand. And what here we can add or subtract or multiply, what we are doing we are not understanding. So this is type of machine level language. If assembly level language, if register 1 register 2 I am adding, add r1 r2 means we are adding register 1 and register 2. These two memories we are adding, means here we can understand these two memories are we are adding and we will get the output. So what is the advantage? Is easy to remember symbolic names. These all are symbolic names. This easy to remember symbolic names. And program understanding, we can understand the program. Correction modification is relatively, means we can do the correction, we can modify the program, and easier when compared to the machine level language. There is need to translating the assembly level language to machine level language, and here we have to translate the assembly level language to machine level language. When we are executing our program, we have to, the machine should understand our program. That's why our assembly level language should convert to the machine level language. So here in our assembly level language we can understand, but machine cannot understand. So here the easy to remember symbolic names, that's why we can understand. See here add means r1 r2, two registers we are adding. Mul means two registers we can multiply. Load b, we can load, we can store in our registers memories in our b memory. So here advantages, what is the advantage? Easy to remember. What is the add? If I will do addition means you can tell add we will write. And if you will wanted to multiply mul, only 0 and 0 0 1 0 1 if you will write, you cannot understand. Only computer can, machine can understand. It is easier when compared to machine. It is easier as compared to machine level language. And what is the comparison here? See here, assembly level language, assembler is the assembler is one type of translator. It can translate from assembly level language to machine level language. It can translate from assembly level language to machine level language. This assembler is a translator. Assembler is a translator which translates from assembly level language to machine level language. What is assembly level language? We can understand, human can understand. Machine level language, human cannot understand easily. We can understand, but you cannot understand easily. And here assembly level language programs we can understand easily. So here one example is there, add R1 R2 register 1 and register 2 will be added, and in assembler will be translate this addition. This assembly level language one will give to the assembler will do their programs. Assembly means one symbol will create for this assembler will send to machine level language as a machine level language. What is high level language? We understood machine level language, we understood assembly level language. Now third one is high level language. I told you there are three types of languages in our programming. One is machine level language, one is assembly level language, one is high level language. High level language is the one type of one of which is written using symbols and words like English language. How you are writing, how we are writing. If I wanted to add two values, I wanted to add two values, I is equal to 5, j is equal to 6. So I wanted to add two values, 5 and 6 I wanted to add. Means we want c is equal to a plus I plus j. I plus j means 5 plus 6 means 11. That is understandable. Yes or no? That is understandable. So here programming is the high level languages can be written in general English languages which can be understandable for every human being. And this high level languages is one which is written using the symbols and words. We can write the symbols, any symbols and words which is accepted by our computer, and it is available in your English language. High level languages can be classified into three categories, which are procedure oriented, program oriented languages and natural languages. What is procedure oriented languages? Third generation. Program oriented languages is the fourth generation. Natural languages is the fifth generation. I will tell you these three next step before explaining Python. Now I will tell you what is high level language. Next step I will tell you what is procedure oriented, what is program oriented, what is natural languages. Now this high level language is a programmer friendly language. This high level language is a programmer friendly language, and high level language is less memory efficient. High level language is less memory efficient, means our system should be accept this memory. If you wanted to write something, our system should be accept in that memory. Means it is and it is portable. It is used widely for programming. It needs compiler, interpreter for translations. It can run on any platform. Your programs, there are different, you can listen this C language, Java, Python, C++, many types of platforms, many types of programming languages are there. You can learn that one, but our output should be same. Our commands should be different. But our variable will be same. So here symbols are different. Words are matching with the English language, and these are classified. These are classified into three types. Procedure oriented. These are procedure oriented means the procedural way. If we will write, then that is called procedure oriented. Program oriented, problem oriented language. Not this is program oriented language, means we can write in coding level. And natural languages, this is fifth generation. We can write in coding and different types of codes we can write for natural languages. Okay, in compiler What is compiler? Compiler, see here, last page I told you what is it. It needs compiler or interpreter for translation. See, first step is it is programming user friendly. It is a user friendly language, means you can understand easily. Next, high level languages is less memory efficient. Our memory also, system memory also required for any programming language. If it is exceed from your system memory, then you cannot write, cannot execute your memory language. It is portable, means wherever you want to run that program, you can run. Okay, any operating system. See, there are two different types of operating systems are there. Any operating system you can run your program, and it is widely for programming. Programming means you can write the code, you can execute, you can run different platforms. Okay, and it need compiler and interpreter for translation. Now I will tell you what is compiler and what is interpreter. How many three types of level languages are there already completed? What is that? Machine level language, assembly level language, high level language. That three completed. Now I will explain you what is compiler and what is interpreter. Compiler is a translator which accepts the program written in high level language and produce the corresponding machine level language program. Means this compiler, if we will write some program in high level language, if I will write I is equal to 5, j is equal to 6, I plus j, means 11 should come. This compiler should do this work. It is a translator. It is a translator which accepts the program, from high level language and produce the corresponding machine level language, means what is the output will come? 5 plus 6. 5 means 101, 6 means 110 something. So after adding, what is the output? 11 should come. 11 output should come. So 11 machine learning in 0 and 1s we can convert. That is machine level language. If high level language, if I written I plus I is equal to 5, j is equal to 6 and I plus j, compiler will accept that I plus j and machine level language will show what is the output. What is interpreter? Compiler translates. Now I will tell you compiler and interpreter both. Now first what is interpreter, and after that I will tell you what is compiler. Compiler scans the entire program and translates it as a whole into machine code. Compiler usually take the large amount of time, means this compiler what it is doing means, compiler if we will write full code, that full code will copy from a source code and it will execute at a time. But interpreter what it will do? It will do single line by line code, it will execute. Interpreter usually take less amount of time to analyze the source code, and however the overall execution of time comparatively slower than compiler, because compiler will execute first. Compiler will copy all the codes. If 1000 lines of code is there, 1000 lines of code it will copy and paste on source code, means run command, where we will execute the program. And after copying all the program source code, after that it will execute. But interpreter what it will do? One by line, means I is equal to 5. If I will write, it will execute I is equal to 5. If I is equal to 6, it will execute I is equal to 6 and j is equal to 6. If I will do I plus j, it will give the output I plus j. I plus j is equal to 11. Means there are three outputs we will get. But here in compiler I is equal to 5, j is equal to 6, I plus j. At a time we have to write and we have to execute our code. That is the difference between compiler and interpreter. But both are same. In compiler we can write programming languages like Python, Ruby, JavaScript. In interpreter, all are using for programming language for interpreter. Compiler means C, Java, all these codes and C++, these all are compilers. Compilers usually large amount of time to analyze the source code. Compiler can take more time, interpreter can take less time. The overall execution time comparatively faster than interpreter, because it will line by line it will be execute. Here full source code it will be execute. It generate intermediate object code which further requires linking, hence require to more memory. It can take more memory. And here when the object no intermediate object code is generated, means why it will be not generating object code, because line by line it can execute, hence it is less memory. So what is Python? Now I will go for Python introduction. Before Python introduction, 1 minute. Python is object oriented and interpreted dynamic language. It is widely high level language for general purpose programming. High level language means totally we can understand on our way. The interpreter executes the program directly. The interpreter executes the program directly and translating each statement into sequence of one or more substance. Means we can execute line by line, or we can execute full our code in our. There are two modes are there. One is interactive mode, one is scripting mode. Interactive mode is we can interpreter can execute line by line, one by line can execute. In scripting mode we can write our code full and we can execute our program. In scripting language, it is a scripting language or programming language. Scripting language do not require compilation steps. Means in C and Java, if we will compare, in scripting language we cannot need compilation steps. Compilation means we no need to compile the code. History of Python. Python was developed by Guido van Rossum in the 1991 at the Center of Mathematics and Computer Science, managed by the Dutch government. This is managed by the Dutch government. Van Rossum picked the name of the Python new language for the TV show. Okay, Monty Python Flying Circus. This Python symbol is like this. Python means Python is one type of snake, no? So this is Python. See, there are two heads, two sides. So Python is the snake type. So Python is first working version is 1990. So and Van Rossum released that public on February 20, 1991. Publicly it released as a Python is a one type of language. The logo of Python is two intertwined snake. Means two heads of snakes will be there. See, what is the difference of Python and C? You know, all of you know about C language. All of you know about C language. Python is a simple language. Print hello world. If we will write printing hello, see, has include stdio.h, main print hello we have to write. Has include means we are getting from include standard input output header file. This is one type of header file where we are asking our C language ki our program hello world should be print. But in our Python no need to write anything like has include and stdio.h and main also. Directly we can write print hello world inside double quote and we can get our output hello world. Taking input from end user. Taking input from end user means in C, when we want to ask some data, then we have to write int n, printf, enter n, scanf, and after that printf. Means scanf means we are asking the data, write something, and printing means printing, input and output, and print, enter n. We have to enter n. INTN, we are declaring integer, that n is a integer. First declaration has include stdio.h. This is C. See how the difference between C and Java. Before I told you, see, only hello world we will write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines required. But in Python, no need bracket, no need semicolon, no need any curly brace, anything. Direct print hello world. But here in CC has include stdio.h, mean from standard input. Stdio.h means this is one type of header file you are getting from your programs, and main means you are getting from your main program and you are writing print hello world. But in your Python, only one line, print hello world. Print hello world, and you are getting your output print hello world. And in your C, has include stdio.h, main, and intn. What is the n type? Means integer type. N is a int means integer type. Print, enter n. Print, enter n. We are entering n. Okay, we are asking to enter n. Scanf, percentile d. D means it is only integer type, should called from your system. Percentile n, ampersand n. Ampersand n means it is asking the integer value from user. Printf means it is printing the percentile d. Percentile d means integer value it will print. N means what we are asking from n. So how many lines? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lines are there. But here in our Python, nothing but we can write int print, only we can write print ab. We can write ab 1020, ab is equal to ba, means we are getting print a and print b. If we will write, we can get our values 10 and 20. Enough. Only two lines sufficient for getting the data. Means how it is convenient for Python to write our programming like our general English language. Like that we can write a is equal to 10, b is equal to 20, print a, print b. It is so much easy to write the programs, and we can understand, anyone can understand. If you don't know the programming language you wanted to write, develop some program, then also you can write your programs. Python is dynamically typed. Dynamically typed means you can write anything. Dynamic means it can declare. In C we must declare the typed variables. Means in C, integer, it is a integer type. We have to give our C programming. We have to print n is a integer. Here we are declaring n is equal to integer, but in Python a, b is equal to 10, 20. No need to declare. It is integer, it is float, it is double. Any types we no need to declare. Directly we can write in our a is equal to 10, b is equal to 20. And here in C we must declare the type of variables by using data types concept. But Python is a dynamically typed number. Means we can write our declared types, our declared the data types. In C, int a is equal to 10. We are writing integer. A is a integer. Computer cannot understand if you will not give integer int value. Means in C language you have to declare a is a integer. You have to declare it. B is a float. B is a 10.25 actually. 10.25 is float. B is a float. B is a float. But A is a integer. But here no need to write A and B. If you want to declare A is equal to 10, B is equal to 10.25, you can declare in Python. So here in Python is a dynamically typed, means anything you can declare without data types. See in Python, see here, type declaration not required because it is dynamically typed. Type declaration is not required. A is equal to 10, it is a integer type. Already by default the computer in Python language can accept it is a integer type. A is equal to 10, if you will give, the computer can accept this A is an integer type. B is equal to 10.5, that computer can accept this B is float. The computer can accept that B is float. 10.5 point is there, means it is a float. C is equal to true. True means obviously true false boolean. This by default it will accept this is a boolean type. If you will give double quote in one sentence, then it will going to under string. There will be no character in Python. You can write all these things as a string. D is equal to any string you will give. Here Goa they given, it is by default it is accepting it is a string. Once we develop the application by using any one operating system, Windows, that application runs only on same operating system, is called platform dependency. Means if we will write one program on any operating system like Windows, it will run on Windows. Okay, there are many operating systems are there, you know, no? Windows, iOS, and your Unix, Linux. These are many operating systems are there. If you want to write any operating system, once you develop a application in using any operating system, the application runs only same operating system. That is called platform dependency. Platform dependency. What is platform dependency? If your program will run in one operating system, then that is called platform dependency. But Python is a platform independent, means your Python program will run on any platforms, means it can run on Windows, it can run on Linux, it can run on iOS. See here, once we can develop your application by using any one of the operating system, the application run on operating system is called platform dependency. Python, Java, what is platform dependent, what is platform independent? If we will write a program on Windows, we have to execute, and we have to do in our programming on Windows. What is independent? It can be run on Windows, it can be run on Linux, it can be run on Mac. That is called platform independent. Once we develop the application by using any one of the operating system, Python is open source software. In our we can develop the applications, we can run in our Python program. The Python is a open source software, which means we can write and we can download freely from www.python.org, and we can develop in our programs. And its source code is open. You can download and you can execute by using in your downloaded file your source code, so that you can customize based on our equipment. Example, JPython is a customized version of Python to work with Java applications. See, Windows is a one type of applications. And in here, all operating systems is called platform independent. What is executing a Python program? How to execute a Python program? There are 6 different ways. There are 6 different ways we can execute a Python program. First one is write the application on editor, notepad. We can open our notepad, we can write and run the command, run in command prompt. That is one type. Next type, by using command line. Command line means single line you can run. Third, by using system command prompt, you can open your command prompt, open system command prompt and type up the python and python prompt and execute the file. How to execute in file? Python test.py. Everything you have to write py.py, then only the file will be run and the file will be saved in your Python program. What is ideally? There are another type is there, ideally. Ideally stands for Python development environment. Python development environment. It works on well in Unix and Windows platform. It will work on Unix and Windows platform. It has a Python shell Windows which access to the Python interactive mode, means in our ideally there are we can access in our interactive mode and we can access in our scripting mode. Interactive mode means we can access and we can execute our programs line by line. And in our scripting mode means if we want to execute thousands of line at a time, then we can write in our scripting mode. We will write our code in scripting mode in our notepad and we will save that file as a Python test dot any name on your name .py. After that we can execute by using Python interpreter and by using online compiler. We have our online compiler also, Python online compiler, and Python interpreter means we can write and we can execute then and there. What is the use of Python? GUI means graphical user interface. Our graphical user interface also we can use in Python. Web frameworks, Django means all the types of frameworks, means you can join your programs, you can execute one modules at a time. Means one module now after, if you don't want to execute this module, another module, that is called framework. You can develop your modules on your website and you can execute that one. Game development games. In your game development, Pygames means Python games. Many games are there by using Python. And molecular biology by Python, BioPython means in your molecular biopython, molecular way means in your biology also you can use Python. And natural language processing also you can use. What is natural language processing? If you want to write anything and you want to execute how the program is running on that way, if on that way also you can execute your program. Data visualization, Plotly, your maps, your graphs, all the graph way, how in your, so today what is the weather, how much percentage sun came, how much percentage rain came, all the percentage, all the your graphs will be displayed by using data visualization, Plotly. Scientific computing, NumPy is one type of module we can use here and you can execute your program by using Python. Where the Python used here, the developing desktop applications. You can use your desktop applications, you can download www.python.com and we can download your Python and you can execute that one. That is develop applications. You for developing a web applications website, on your website you can apply and you can execute, you can develop your web applications. And database applications, in your database also, in your database you can store your files for the database, for SQL files and for all the database files or database applications, you can manage, manipulate and update your programs, update your files. For that purpose also you are using Python. And for network programming from means from back end also you can use. And for hardware, how the program servers are working, how you can save for your programs knowledge, all these things you can use for this networking programming. Why you can control your bandwidth, you can control your Wi-Fi, and developing games. Different games are there, your car racing, all the types of different types of games you can develop. Data analysis applications. Data analysis applications means you can apply your data analytics and machine learning. Machine learning means your machine, how the machine is learning, the how the image is processing, is this dog or cat, how the machine is understanding. This is called machine learning language. The computer should understand easily, on easy way. If same type of dog, same face cat will be there too, means how the computer can understand this is a cat, this is a dog, means this is type of machine learning. You can write your programs on machine learning languages. And artificial intelligence, you know, nowadays artificial intelligence, you can say you can wear the artificial AI spec and you can fight with anyone. Like that, nowadays games will be coming artificial intelligence, means without any on space human can understand, it is there in the, you can do that work. Applications for IoT, for Internet of Things. Internet of Things means in your internet can, now you are using your AC with by using remote, by for using remote, for using for cooking, for all these things you have to use your Internet of Things. If you want to use on remote, your fan should run like that. That is Internet of Things. Your internet should connect to the things. What is Python interactive cell? Python provides interactive cell which is used between user and operating system. Python provides interactive cell which is used between user and operating system. That operating system and user can interact that interactive cell. In other word, Python provides command line interface. Command line interface means that Python cell is a Python interactive cell. That line is command line interface with Python is called, Python cell is known as Python interface, Python interactive cell. Python commands are run using Python interactive cell. User can work with Python cell in two modes. One is interactive mode, one is scripting mode. In scripting mode, you can write 3 lines. See here, 3 lines. If print true, print false, or done. Here how many lines? 1, 2, 3. But here in your interactive mode, 5. We are getting output 5. Print 5 into 7. Output is 35. Means one line if you will give, one output should come. One line, print 5 into 7. Output is 35. Means one line the interactive cell will run. One line. The user and operating system will interact with one line. After one line, the interactive cell will run. If we will give 5, the 5 will run. If we will give print 5 into 7, the print output will be 7. In this, but scripting mode not like that. If we want to write one line, it will not run. Up to print statement you have to write. Then only the print will be coming. See, complete the sentence. If 1 colon in your Python column will be going under next line. If conditions, after all conditions we have to write a column, and intentions will be there. Intentions means if you will give column, then you have to write as per their intentions. Means in your print true, and all the strings you have to write within double quote. After print you have to give bracket. This little bit rules will be there, but not like C and Java, like that much rules are not there, but little bit rules are there. You have to remember all the rules, and you have to use in your program, otherwise your program will be is showing error here. But interactive mode 5, you have to get 5 output. Print 5 into 7 means output will be 35. Interactive mode allows the user interact with the operating system. The user can interact with the operating system when the user types any program statement, any Python statement expressions. The interpreter display the result instantly. The interpreter display the result instantly. In your interactive mode, the result will be displayed instantly. In interactive mode allows the user to interact with the operating system. When the user types any Python statement expressions, the interpreter displays the result instantly. But in interactive mode, user cannot save the statement and expressions in need to retype. When we wanted to use in our future purpose, that time we cannot use that for save. We cannot save in our statements in our systems. That is in interactive mode. But in scripting mode, in scripting, user types a Python program in a file and then uses the interpreter to execute the file. First we will write our thousands of code. After that we can save .py. We can save our file to in .py. I will show you how to download, what is the execution, all these things I will show you. Today is the first class, so I am not showing you, I am explaining you all these things. Tomorrow I will show you how to download a program and how to execute a program. And we will write and we will execute our programs. User types a Python, this scripting mode. Scripting mode, first the user can save the program and .py, and after that the user can uses the interpreter to execute the file. See, in this Python ideally the window will appear like this. See here, Python 3.4. If this is the Python window, this Python 3. Print welcome to Python means the output is coming welcome to Python. This is the interpreter. This is the interpreter. Okay. Python print, this is the interactive mode. This is the interactive mode. Suddenly means after one line the execution is done and the output is coming. After one line the execution is done and output is getting. This Python ideally following windows will be appear and it shows interactive mode, and this window shows the primary prompt where the user types the command to run the interpreter. When we wanted to run, see here, file, edit, cell, debug. In here, if we wanted to run cell, run. If we wanted to run, then it will get it the output. And interact in scripting mode, first we will write the program. After that we will save in our interactive mode. This is user statement. Use these types of set of statements called the program in a file and save this program by file name as extension. After writing this program, we have to save it. We have to save it in our program and .py. Then the interpreter is used to execute the file content. This mode is convenient when the user wants to write and save multiple lines of code. When the user wanted to write multiple lines of code, then it will be very useful for easily modifiable and reusable. And we can save in our file in our local disk, and we can use anytime, and we can see in our programs anytime. Okay, what is features? Features of Python, easy to learn. What is features of Python? A lot of features, easy to learn and use, and Python is easy to learn and user friendly. It is user friendly and it is a high level language. Expressive language means Python language is more expressive, means that it is more understandable and readable. It is more understandable and readable, means normal human beings, if we are not going through Python language, even though if I wanted to understand that program, yeah, I can understand. That is normal, understandable and readable language, we can read. Interpreted language means Python is an interpreted language, that is interpreter executes the code line by line at a time, means one line writing after the program can execute that line. This makes debugging easy, thus suitable beginners. This is cross platform, means the Python can run equally different platforms like Windows, Linux, Unix, Macintosh. Anyway, we can run our Python programming. It is free and open source. Free and open source means this Python can source free source code also available. Therefore, it is open source. And this is object oriented language, means we can create our objects, we can create our class, we can execute our programs. It is extensible. Extensible means it is implies the like other languages we can compile our code to. It is large standard library. Large standard library means many libraries are there, we can use all the libraries in as a set of modules and functions for rapid application development. GUI means graphical user interface can developing using Python, means all the graphical user interface power programming support we can use. Integrated means it is easily integrated with languages like C, C++, Java. Okay, it is procedure oriented also. Procedure oriented like C also it can run. Applications of what is the applications? Web applications means HTML, XML, JSON, email processing, all provides framework. Django, Pyramid and Flask, all the designs can be applied by using web applications. By using Python, develop GUI. GUI is the library to develop user interface in Python based applications. In the Kiwi is popular for the writing multitask. Software development. Software development. Python is helpful for the software development process. It works to support the languages. It is supporting all the software languages and control systems testing like scientific and numeric. Means SciPy, Panda, IPython, all the group of packages for scientific and numeric computing. Next, Python variables. Tomorrow I will explain you these Python variables. Now we'll stop our class. If you have any doubt, you write your chat. Otherwise, you can unmute and you can ask me. I'm giving you 5 minutes. If you have any doubt, you can ask your doubts. Otherwise, you can ask me your doubts. And if you this is our lab. We can write and execute our programs easily and in our Python platform. So tomorrow and day after tomorrow, what is variables and what is data types, I will explain you, and after 2 classes we'll start writing programs. Okay, what is if conditions, all the conditions, loops, and what is our Python, how the way we can write the our programming language, we can I can tell you. And here I can explain you, and by after two classes we can write our programming language. Yes. Okay now. Okay. Thank you. Acha, ma'am, please forward. Yes, yes, I will forward. Object oriented programming language means we can access, we can use your objects and we can access our objects as per our program. Okay. Tomorrow I will explain you object oriented programming. If you want clearly, I will explain you object oriented programming, what is the difference between object oriented programming and what is the difference object oriented programming and procedure oriented programming. That two differences I will tell you. One member asked, no, two differences I will tell you what is the two differences and how we are using in our Python in two ways, that I will explain you. And what is the variables we are using, how the types of variables, how the way of variables we are using, tomorrow I will explain you. Okay, up to this topic I will explain you. Bye. Thank you, students.